All right, so the next order of business is going to be, did you see how the wheel was moving and the parking brake should have been on? So that's the next thing. So the wheels, there's an adjustment. So I've got a few issues. One, the parking brake isn't engaging. And that's this gear right here. So that should be locked in right now. But for whatever reason, no, it's not. Which is one of the issues with this machine, is it's not very safe because it moves. It tries to move. It tries to go places. But there's also this is the input for the wheel motors. And so it should be able to go forward or backwards, which controls whether the wheels move or not. And you could see that this one was perfectly adjusted. However, the one on this side was trying to go places. So I'm going to need to start it up and loosen or tighten this item here, because it was continually trying to move, and it shouldn't be doing that. It should be stationary. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it back up. I just kind of wanted to talk and explain what I was doing. You know, so because I can't talk while this thing's on, or you guys won't be able to hear anything. I want to fix the fact that it's moving first, and then go over the brake issue. Like that. That's one issue fixed. You can see. Obviously, when you're same thing over here. Make sure in the lock position, it shouldn't go anywhere. Alright, so it makes a noise. And I wonder if that's like the parking brake coming on and off. I'm not sure. Let's see what that is. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's. I wonder if the last guy who owned this machine, I wonder if he like intentionally took off the parking brakes. Because that's what it looks like. What's going on? It looks like they're intentionally not applied. Whoa, sorry guys. I have like pushed your face into this. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna move the wheel a little bit so that I can get it lined up with the teeth. At least that's the hope. I can just feel that. That is not really applying much tension at all. I also see that is very loose. This arm is like super loose. Alright, let's see if I can just set you up so you can kind of hopefully see what I'm doing. Because I kind of need two hands for it. Alright, let's see if we can get a turn on this, because this seems very loose. It's not what I think the issue is. But I do notice that seems to be very, like you can see when the gear's like that, like it doesn't really line up. Like I feel like it should be like that. Is this side loose like that? it is. Like, it's like these springs over here are, because if you were to tighten this more, all right, well, let's go full send on this. If you were to tighten that more, it'd be back like that. And I mean, it is kind of pushed toward it. Like, that's like locked. This one over here is like 10 feet away. All right, so I feel like we need some tools. I'm gonna go grab them. Back. It didn't take very long, did it? Looks like it's gonna be 7/16 for the win. I'm gonna put another washer on these. So that it locks both of them. Because I feel like they're too loose, too wobbly. I don't like that. You know, there is like a thing there. Kind of makes me wonder if we're missing a spring that like supposed to like keep it tight, you know? Just don't see any holes anywhere where it would go into. Okay, so that has a piece inside that holds it, that keeps it from getting too tight. And I wonder if that is like loose inside it. But I could just get a washer that's just slightly bigger than that so it goes over top of it. Or I could also shave off a little bit of this so that it, a little bit of this right here so that it, because it seems like there's quite a bit of play in that. So I could either get a washer to take up some space or to shave it down a hair so that it's tighter. But I'll also say this, like, if you look, these gears on this thing are worn down pretty badly. Like normally there's supposed to be teeth on there. In here. You can see we've rubbed a groove all the way in, which is, you know, probably not good. Let's see what those teeth look like. Wow, there's a bunch of junk in there. Maybe I should get all that out before it chews up that seal. So far right now, these aren't leaking at all, which is nice. I do also have loose bolts up here. Same thing on this side, which is odd. Makes me wonder if like someone took out the transmission before. But I'm definitely gonna be tightening those up as well. All right, let me see if I can get these off. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna bring you back once I got them off. All right, so I got them off. So you can see that this spring is slightly smaller than that spring. And then these springs are all three about the same size, but this one is smaller just by hair. So I'm gonna pull it, stretch it. So these teeth, I'm trying to decide if they're supposed to be like that. Kind of looks like there's a groove down the middle and it's like factory. Maybe I'm wrong, but this one has the same sort of deal, except for the ones on this side are worn, but that might be because this thing is flopping quite a bit. Also, the motor was out of adjustment and spinning the wheel even though it was throttled all the way down and in the park position. So I'm gonna try to take up some of the space and get these to lock into those grooves. Like, I know that these are relatively cheap and I could just replace them, but I'm just gonna see if I can get them to lock in first. And I just don't want to wait on parts, you know. I want to put this thing back together and have it. If I can get it operational with what I have, then I'll do that first. But if I continue to have an issue, then obviously I'll order. But I do want this to be safe. That sometimes children use this machine, and the last thing we want is, you know, have an incident. So I'm gonna stretch these springs and put everything. Maybe I'll put a few washers in there too. A couple of dryers. Just kidding. Washers though. I'll get some washers to kind of take up some space and make them fit more snugly. Snugly. All right, I'll bring you back with what I decide. All right, so what I decided was I went ahead and I got 2 rubber bushings that are going to take up a lot of space. I also stretched that one spring that was shorter so that they're all roughly the same length now. I did grind some of these off so that they're a little bit warm, so that this would hopefully take up the space in these and keep them from being so loose when they're screwed tight. Of course, when I did that, it created a few little burrs, so That's okay though, because I'll be able to get them. It's actually better because they're not supposed to be loose. And if I can get them tight, keep them tight in there, I feel like that'll be better. That's what I ended up doing. So let's see how these work out. Let's see if I can remember the order of how they keep up with their rods. So here's a rod. We're gonna put a rubber bushing, a spring, a washer, one of the arms. I don't think it matters left or right. Should probably put the same one on either side so that way what you get. And of course this thing fell out. This little, of course it fell out. It needed to fall out. But then you need another washer, and then a spring. Oh yeah, I can already tell this is way tighter. And then a nut. All right. Then you put this like that, and you put the nut on. And the nut has thread lock on it, so I should probably be reapplying thread lock. But instead I'll just use the German thread lock, Guten Tight. It's totally something, it's a thing. I'm just kidding, it's a tiny little screw, so I probably won't try to tighten it up too much. Now let's see if I like that. Wow. Well, I was gonna say it's working great, but I'd be lying to you. So we're still quite a ways away from that being perfect. Hope you guys can see right now. All right, so that needs to be all the way up there. So I put the rubber piece in there to make it to go even further. Tempted to put both springs on one side because this needs to be further still. I really don't think both springs are supposed to be on one side. Sorry, I need a tripod. You guys like and subscribe and share and comment on how much you hate my videoing. It will greatly help my channel, and I can get things like tripods and all this stuff. Yeah, so that is still, even with that, it's still relatively loose. So if I just add a tiny bit more spring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it back off and we're gonna go again. We're gonna try it again. Really makes me wonder if there's supposed to be a spring holding down here in that little hole. You know, I should probably like look up the service catalog and stuff and try to figure out if there is supposed to be another one, but seems like it'd be a lot though. You know, and maybe I'm just gonna skip the washer on this side because I really don't like the fact that there's no washer on the I feel like there should be a washer on the end where the nut is. All right, well, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I feel like it should go washer and then nut. Oh wow, now I'm just forgetting all of the washers. So here, we'll put a washer there like it's supposed to. You know what? I have plenty of washers. Why don't I just get another washer? Look at that though. That's definitely in the teeth. Way better. Double gooder. So now it goes washer, spring. I really feel like a washer should be up before the nut. Or, yeah, I feel like it should be spring, washer, nut. Maybe that's crazy talk though. All right, let's get all this back in. You know, I probably will take this back apart and get the thread locker. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should have left that insert long. Wow, that is still away from the teeth. That blows my mind. Because we got 2 spacers in there. All right, I feel like we need an actuator. I'm gonna try it and see how it looks. All right, let's go ahead and try it. See what happens. So that is like far, far away. That's good. All right, then put your washer. And that is closer, but man, we are still miles away from that thing. Like 1/4 of an inch. like way too far. And if I tighten this screw, it's just gonna push it that way. Oh man. All right, I don't like it. I feel like I shouldn't have to put gigantic rubber spacers in there. I mean, they're not tiny spacers either. They're pretty decent. All right, this is gonna be try number 100, take 37. Still not enough. And that's like, look at that thing. It's a pretty decent sized spacer. I got 2 of them on there. It's like that much space I'm taking up. It's like half the spring. Half the size of the spring. Makes me wonder if it's supposed to be spring. I mean, doesn't look horrible. Spring washer. Like, that seems so much better, because there's like no way it's not applied. It's applied. Like, I'm all about doing stuff the way it's supposed to be done, but I also need it to work. It needs to work. It needs to function properly. And maybe those are getting old. Maybe those springs are getting old. I need to get a new spring. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna try this though. Let me see what this looks like when we do it. I gotta watch the video and we'll see. See if it looks right, because I can't watch the video and apply, engage and disengage the parking brake. Yeah. So I shouldn't have taken that amount off the spacers, because now I'm having to leave this loose. All right, let's see what this does. You know what? That's disengaged, which I'm good with. And that's engaged. Look at that. Much better. Double gooder. All right, so I'm gonna do the other side the same way, and then I'll bring you back. All right, I brought you back. Okay, so this is what I come up with. The spacers, I've done 2 springs on one side. This is disengaged. And also this one's disengaged. This one's a lot closer though. I wonder if the bar up there is bent, but it is disengaged, which you can see. And then when the parking brake comes on, like that, we are fully engaged. Over here, we're also fully engaged. There's no moving it. All right, cool. So I feel good about this. Now it is time to put the deck on. All right, so I got the deck back on. All the way up. It's even. Goes up and down pretty nicely. And the blades kick on and off. Just the way it's supposed to. Well, we got some leaves back here, so. Let's see, so we can rake right, here we are about 10 minutes later, 10 or 15 minutes, and I got this whole side done. You can see the row of leaves that I made. When I get my other mower out, I'll bag that. I mainly just do this as like a test run, but you can see it does a great job of picking up all the leaves and bringing them on location. I got all these leaves, every single one. Yeah. I'm actually, I'm really happy with that. You know, there's some other YouTube channels. I just said one earlier, it was Goons Vlogging. But I also watch like Musty One. That's an excellent, channel. And I also watch Andrew occasionally. Andrew, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But he's also very knowledgeable. Cat, something like that. But yeah, so sun's going down. Time for me to stop recording for a day. Hope to see you guys back. Hope to do something fun tomorrow. Maybe we'll work on something else. Well, see you guys later.